Life has a way of testing us. It throws pain, failures, and disappointments our way. Some people allow these challenges to break them, while others use them as fuel to rise higher. The truth is simple: life will not wait for you to heal on its own. You must take responsibility, make bold changes, and step into growth. Either you take action now, or you stay stuck in the same broken cycle. Do this or stay broken is not just a phrase, it's a call to action. It's the choice between living in the past and creating the future. Many of us are walking around with invisible chains: fear, excuses, procrastination, toxic habits, and negative environments. If you don't break those chains, they will break you. The very first step in transforming your life is to take full responsibility. Not partial, not conditional, but complete ownership of who you are and where you are right now. Most people stay broken because they live in denial. They blame their parents for not giving them the right start. They blame the economy for their struggles. They blame society, luck, or even destiny for their failures. But here is the hard truth: blaming may feel comfortable, but it never fixes anything. Responsibility may feel heavy at first, but it is the only thing that puts you in control of your future. Taking full responsibility means saying to yourself, my life is my responsibility. My happiness is my responsibility. My healing is my responsibility. My success is my responsibility. It doesn't matter who hurt you, who betrayed you, or who left you behind. None of them are coming to fix your life for you. Only person who has the power to rebuild you is the person you see in the mirror every day. Think about it: the moment you blame others, you give away your power. You say, I can't change because they won't change. I can't move forward because life isn't fair. That mindset locks you in chains. But when you take ownership, you shift from being a victim of life to being the creator of life. Taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything that happened. It means accepting that what happens next is in your hands. Maybe you weren't responsible for being broken, but you are absolutely responsible for whether you stay broken. This shift changes everything. Instead of saying, I'm poor because of my family background, you say, I'll build wealth regardless of my background. Instead of saying, I can't heal because of what they did to me, you say, I will heal despite what they did to me. Instead of saying, life isn't fair, you say, life won't stop me. The moment you own your pain, your struggles, and your future, you gain freedom. You no longer wait for a savior. You become your own savior. So, the first command is clear: take full responsibility. Stop pointing fingers, waiting for someone else to change your life. The day you decide, it's on me, is the day you stop being broken. Running through the park, one of the biggest reasons people stay broken is because they refuse to cut off the very things that keep breaking them. You cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick. You cannot rise while holding on to habits and people that pull you down. If you want transformation, you must be ruthless with what you allow into your life. First, let's talk about toxic habits. Habits shape your identity. If you constantly choose laziness over discipline, comfort over growth, or distraction over focus, then you're slowly destroying your potential without even realizing it. For example, endless scrolling on social media may seem harmless. It steals your time, energy, and confidence as you compare yourself to others. Procrastination feels safe, quietly robs you of opportunities. Escaping your pain through drinking, smoking, or binge eating doesn't solve your problems. It just buries them deeper, only for them to resurface stronger later. If you want to stop being broken, you must identify these habits and cut them out before they cut you down. Every time you choose a toxic habit, you are choosing brokenness. Every time you choose discipline, you are choosing healing. Now, Let's talk about toxic people. Company you keep determines the quality of your life. If you surround yourself with negative, lazy, jealous, or unmotivated people, be surprised if you remain stuck where you are. Broken people love company because misery feeds on misery. But if you want to grow, you must separate yourself from environments and relationships that poison your spirit. Ask yourself honestly, are the people around me lifting me up or pulling me down? Do they celebrate my progress or envy it? Do they encourage me to grow or do they laugh at my ambitions? If the answer is negative, it's time to distance yourself. Cutting toxic people off doesn't mean you hate them. It means you love yourself enough to protect your peace and growth. Sometimes the hardest decision is to let go of friends, partners, running through the park, or even family who refuse to change. But remember this, staying connected to toxic people is like tying yourself to a sinking ship. You cannot rise while they are drowning you. You must understand this. Your healing requires separation. Separation from toxic habits, separation from toxic environments, separation from toxic relationships. Once you cut these chains, you will feel lighter, stronger, and more in control of your life. It won't be easy. Habits cling to you. People will guilt trip you. Comfort will call you back. But every time you resist, you're proving to yourself that you value your growth more than your brokenness. So the rule is simple. If it drains you, if it delays you, cut it. If it destroys you, cut it. Replace bad habits with empowering ones. Replace toxic people with mentors, dreamers, and winners. Because if you don't, you will stay broken, and brokenness is too high a price to pay for comfort. One of the most dangerous mistakes people make is running away from their pain. We live in a world where everyone wants quick fixes. People would rather numb themselves than confront the wounds that keep them broken. Here's the truth: what you refuse to face will continue to control you. Most people hide their pain under temporary escapes. They distract themselves with entertainment, drown their emotions in alcohol, cover their loneliness with fake relationships, or silence their struggles with endless scrolling and meaningless business. These things may give relief for a moment, but they never bring healing. They are like painkillers. You feel better for a while, but the wound remains untreated, silently growing worse. You can't heal by ignoring. You can't rebuild by pretending. Healing requires honesty, the kind of honesty that forces you to look in the mirror and say, yes, I'm broken. Yes, I'm hurt. Yes, I've been betrayed. But I will face it. Facing your pain is not weakness, it's courage. It means daring to revisit the memories you buried, admitting the mistakes you made, and acknowledging the scars you carry. It's the courage to cry when you need to talk when you must, and to confront instead of avoid. Think about this: when you hide, your pain leaks into your life in other ways. Unresolved wounds become anger, bitterness, jealousy, or self-sabotage. A person who refuses to face heartbreak may struggle to trust. Someone who avoids failure may never try again. Someone who denies their insecurities may attack others to cover their own emptiness. Pain ignored doesn't disappear. It transforms into chains. When you face your pain, something powerful happens. You begin to take control. Instead of being a prisoner of your past, you become the architect of your future. You learn lessons from every scar, and instead of hiding them, you wear them as proof that you survived. Facing your pain doesn't mean you'll solve everything instantly. It's a process. It may mean seeking help, journaling, meditating, praying, or talking to someone you trust. It may mean forgiving yourself or forgiving others, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Remember, this healing never comes from hiding. The wound you refuse to face today will only grow deeper tomorrow. The moment you shine a light on it, the darkness loses its power. So here's the choice: you can keep running, numbing and pretending, and stay broken. Or you can turn around, face your pain head on, and finally begin to heal. The road will be hard. On the other side of pain is freedom. On the other side of pain is strength. On the other side of pain is a version of you that no longer hides, stands unbreakable. One of the greatest lies people believe is that they need to feel motivated in order to act. They wait for inspiration, for the right mood, for the perfect timing. But here's the truth: motivation is temporary, discipline is permanent. Motivation is like a spark. Discipline is the fire that keeps burning even when everything around you is cold and dark. Think about it. Motivation is based on emotions. Some days you wake up inspired, ready to conquer the world. Other days you feel tired, drained, and completely unmotivated. If you depend only on motivation, you will live a life of inconsistency, starting strong but never finishing, dreaming big but never achieving. That's why so many people remain broken running the park, because they wait to feel like it instead of building the habits that force them to move even when they don't. Discipline, on the other hand, is a commitment. It's a decision that says, I will do what I must, whether I feel like it or not. Discipline is waking up early when your bed feels comfortable. It's going to the gym when your body says home. It's working on your goals even when distractions tempt you. Discipline is not emotional. It's intentional. The strongest, most successful, most unbreakable people in history didn't rely on motivation. They relied on discipline. Running through the park, athletes don't win gold medals because they always feel like training. They win because they show up to train on days when they feel broken, tired, uninspired. Entrepreneurs don't build empires because they were inspired every day. They built them because discipline carried them through moments of fear, failure, and doubt. The truth is, if you only act when you're motivated, your life will always be average. But if you act with discipline, even when it hurts, you will rise above average and step into greatness. Here's the keys: discipline builds character. Running through the park. Every time you push yourself to do what's necessary instead of what's easy, you strengthen your willpower. Discipline rewires your mind to choose growth over comfort, focus over distraction, consistency over excuses. Over time, this becomes who you are. It becomes your identity. Remember, this: motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. Without discipline, motivation is useless. Without discipline, dreams remain dreams. Without discipline, you stay broken because comfort is easier than change. Ask yourself, do I want to stay comfortable or become unstoppable? Do I want short-term pleasure or long-term power? Do I want to wait for feelings or build habits that last forever? If you want to stop being broken, you must kill the mindset of waiting for motivation. You must train yourself to show up daily, no matter what. Even small daily disciplines, waking up at the same time, journaling, exercising, reading, working on your craft, compound into massive transformation. Motivation is a wave. Discipline is the ocean. Waves come and go, but the ocean remains. And if you want a life of true strength and greatness, you must choose the ocean. So remember this: don't chase motivation. Build discipline. Because discipline is the cure for brokenness, and it is the path to freedom. One of the most underestimated truths about growth and healing is this: your environment shapes you more than your intentions. You can have all the dreams, goals, and desires in the world, but if your environment is toxic, it will silently poison your progress. And unless you change the space you live in, the people you surround yourself with, and the energy you absorb daily, you will remain stuck and broken. Think about this: you cannot plant a seed in concrete and expect it to grow. A seed needs fertile soil, water, and sunlight. In the same way, your mind, your soul, and your dreams need the right conditions to thrive. If you keep yourself in the wrong environment, no matter how strong your willpower is, you will eventually wither. Let's break it down. 1. Physical environment, your room, your house, your workspace. They all influence your mindset. A messy, chaotic environment often produces a messy, chaotic mind. On the other hand, a clean, organized, and inspiring environment promotes focus and peace. If you want to stop being broken by fixing the space around you, create an environment that pushes you toward discipline, not distraction. 2. Social environment. The people around you have the power to either build you or break you. If your circle is full of complainers, doubters, gossipers, and lazy individuals, don't expect to rise above them. Energy is contagious. If you are surrounded by negativity, it will infect your mind like a disease. But if you surround yourself with dreamers, doers, and believers, their energy will elevate you. You must be brave enough to distance yourself from anyone who doesn't align with your growth. 3. Mental environment. It's not just about where you live or who you know. It's also about what you feed your mind. The books you read, the music you listen to, the videos you watch, the content you consume daily, these all create your mental environment. If you constantly feed your mind with negativity, gossip, and distractions, don't be surprised if you feel weak and broken. If you fill your mind with knowledge, wisdom, and positivity, your inner world will start to transform. 4. Spiritual environment. For some people, healing requires a deeper connection with something greater than themselves, whether that's God, faith, prayer, meditation, or silence. A noisy, connected spiritual environment makes you feel lost. But when you create time for stillness, prayer, gratitude, or reflection, you build inner strength that protects you from being broken by external chaos. Here's the truth. Running through the park, you can't change your life while staying in the same environment that broke you. If your environment is filled with distractions, temptations, or negative energy, it will pull you back no matter how much you try to move forward. That's why so many people fail. They try to heal in the same environment where they got hurt. Changing your environment doesn't always mean moving to a new city or country. Sometimes it means changing the people you talk to, the habits you keep, or even the voices you allow into your mind. It means creating an atmosphere where growth is natural, not forced. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's lonely at times. Yes, it takes courage. But remember this, staying in a toxic environment is more painful than leaving it. Growth requires separation, and separation creates transformation. Start running through the park. So ask yourself today, is my environment feeding me or draining me? Am I surrounded by people who challenge me or people who chain me? Does my space inspire me to grow, or does it keep me broken? The answers will reveal why you are where you are. And the solution is simple. If your environment is breaking you, change it before it destroys you. Because healing doesn't just happen inside you. It happens around you. One of the biggest reasons people stay broken is because they waste their energy complaining instead of creating. Complaining is easy. Anyone can do it. It requires no effort, no responsibility, no courage, just a mouthful of excuses. But creation, on the other hand, requires vision, effort, and accountability. And that's exactly why so many stay stuck. They invest their energy in pointing out problems instead of building solutions. Let's be honest. We all complain sometimes. We complain about the weather, about the economy, about our jobs, about people who don't treat us right. And while complaining may feel like relief in the moment, it doesn't change a thing. The problem remains, and you remain powerless. Complaining is like rocking in a chair. You move a lot, but you go nowhere. But here's the deeper truth. Complaining is a mindset, and it's poison. It keeps your focus on what's wrong instead of what's possible. It trains your brain to see obstacles instead of opportunities. Over time, it convinces you that you are a victim of life instead of the creator of life. And victims stay broken. Creators, on the other hand, differently. They see the same problems everyone else complains about, but instead of wasting energy blaming, they ask, what can I do about it? How can I turn this obstacle into an opportunity? What can I build, learn, or change to move forward? History is full of examples. Great inventions, businesses, and movements were born because someone refused to complain and instead chose to create. Where others saw failure, they saw possibility. Where others complained about the darkness, they lit a candle. That's the difference between staying broken and becoming unbreakable. Shifting from complaining to creating doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means refusing to give your power to negativity. It means deciding that your energy is too valuable to waste on things you cannot change and must be invested in the things you can. Imagine what would happen if every time you felt like complaining, you created instead of complaining about being broke. You start a side hustle or learn a new skill. Instead of complaining about toxic people, you build boundaries and seek healthier connections. Instead of complaining about your body, you create a fitness routine. Instead of complaining about your circumstances, you create opportunities through discipline and persistence. This shift is life-changing. Because the moment you stop complaining, you stop being a victim. And the moment you start creating, you step into the role of a leader, the leader of your own life. The truth is, broken people complain because it's easier than changing. Strong people create because they know change doesn't happen by accident. It happens by action. So here's the challenge. Every time you feel the urge to complain, pause and ask yourself, what can I create instead? That single question can transform your energy, your focus, and your results. Remember this: complaining keeps you in the same place, creating moves you forward. Complaining drains your power, creating multiplies it. Complaining is the language of the broken, creating is the language of the unbreakable. And in the end, life will always ask you one question: did you waste your days complaining, or did you use them creating? The harsh truth about life is this: time does not wait for anyone. Every day you delay, every dream you postpone, every decision you avoid, it all adds up. And slowly, silently, running through the park, your opportunities slip away. Many people stay broken not because they don't know what to do, but because they never act on what they know. Here's the reality: knowledge is useless without action. Dreams are meaningless without action. Healing, growth, success, all of it requires one thing: movement. But what keeps most people stuck is the illusion that they have unlimited time. They say, I'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow becomes next week, then next year, and eventually never. And before they know it, years are gone, chances are lost, and their brokenness has hardened into regret. Action is the cure. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need the perfect plan, the perfect timing, or the perfect conditions. You just need to start. Start small if you must, scared if you must. Start unprepared if you must. But just start. Because small steps compound into big changes, and action creates momentum. Think about this: how many people remain trapped in broken lives because they are waiting. Waiting for confidence, waiting for money, waiting for approval, waiting for motivation. But waiting is just another word for wasting. The longer you wait, the heavier your chains become. Action doesn't mean you won't fail, you will. But failure from action is growth. Failure from inaction is regret. When you act, you learn. When you wait, you lose. Every person who has rebuilt their life, achieved greatness, or found healing had one thing in common: they stopped waiting and started moving. Ask yourself honestly, how many dreams have I buried because I kept waiting for the right moment? How many times have I said, someday, knowing that someday may never come. What will my life look like if I keep delaying action for another year? The answers can be uncomfortable, but they are necessary because they remind you that the clock is ticking. Your life is happening right now, and every second matters. The truth is, you don't need more time, you need more courage. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The only perfect moment is the one you decide to act in, and that moment is now. So here's the challenge, saying one day and make today day one. Stop waiting for permission and give yourself permission, hoping for change and start creating it with your actions. Because if you don't act now, brokenness becomes your lifestyle. If you choose to act, even imperfectly, you open the door to healing, strength, and transformation. Remember this forever. Inaction is the slowest form of death, but action is the first step to freedom. Take action today, before it's too late. At the end of the day, life will always present you with two paths, the path of excuses or the path of action. The path of comfort or the path of growth. Path of staying broken or the path of becoming unbreakable. You have heard the truth. You already know what you must do. Take responsibility of toxic habits. Face your pain. Build discipline. Change your environment. Stop complaining. Take action before it's too late. These are not just suggestions, are the steps that separate those who transform their lives from those who remain trapped in cycles of brokenness. Remember this, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to fix your life for you. The power is in your hands, the decision is in your heart, and the time is now. So, rise up. Refuse to stay broken. Do what needs to be done, even when it's hard, even when it hurts, even when nobody claps for you. Because the greatest victory is not over others. It is over the weaker version of yourself that wanted to quit. Life is asking you one question, do this or stay broken. The answer is yours to give.